Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm speaking about a topic that is not easy to talk about. Whether you're 40 or whether you're 70 or whether you have parents who are in their 70s, stick around and let's learn a little bit more about aging in place. So what is aging in place? Well, this is the number one choice of older adults who are choosing not to go into assisted living, who are choosing not to go into home care situations. They want to remain in their home. And so today I want to touch on some of the aspects of the importance if your family, if you as an individual or you as an adult child who are curious about your care for your parents, what is aging in place? What does this entail? How do you go about doing it? My name's Nicole Smith. In case this is your first time on my channel, I'm a realtor here in Jacksonville, Florida, and I have an SRES certification, which means I'm a senior real estate specialist. Means I've studied and I have an accreditation to work with seniors and I specialize in helping anybody at all. But in this particular video, I'm focusing on our special seniors. And what is special about our seniors? Well, if you are a senior or you love a senior, you know how special seniors are. And because of the age group right now that we're dealing with, most of our baby boomers are getting of age and they're going to have to start making decisions on where they want to live, if they want to remain living in the home that they are living in, if they want to modify that home. And as a caregiver to be, or as a senior yourself, you have to start coming up with a plan. And so I wanted to talk about the subject matter because it's very important that if you are a senior or you're a adult child of a senior, you have to have some sort of conversation while your senior is able to discuss their wants and needs. And it's better to have the conversation before it's too late. So I would suggest getting a game plan together. And some of the questions you can ask yourself if you are a senior is, one, do I like where I'm actually living now? Is it close to where I want to live? Is it in proximity to my children or grandchildren, if that's something that's important to me? Is my home in the condition it needs to be in for me to age in place? Now, some of these questions you might have already thought about, but you may not have thought about them to the extent that you're thinking of what if happens. We need to prepare in life in all circumstances. And the way I look at it is we are blessed to be on this planet. And if we're here, we might as well make the best of our life. And we might as well prepare that we're going to live a long and healthy life. And if we are taking care of ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, we don't know when our day is going to come where we're going to get called up. So until then, we need to plan that we're going to live on this earth for 100 years, let's say. We don't know. But if you don't have a game plan together, that will pose to be a problem if anything should happen. So let's talk about this uncomfortable discussion. And if you're a child who has aging parents, you're going to want to come up with a plan on how to bring this topic up. without feeling like you're threatening or coming across as someone who's trying to control your parent. Because it will come a time when the roles are going to reverse. Your parent is going to depend on you like you used to depend on them. And if we have the mindset that that's a blessing, that's an opportunity for us to get closer to our parents, to give back to our parents, we need to mentally, physically, and emotionally prepare for that if you're the child or if you're the aging parent. And one way we can have a simple discussion is, have you ever thought of this? Do you have a plan? What do you think you would like to do? Asking them. And if you're the senior, why wouldn't you want to be in control of your future? And make the plan now. Make the plan while you can. That way you're in control of what you want, and no one is going to be dictating to you what you can do or you can't do. So let's assume we're all fairly healthy, but we're making the decision the home we're living in is the home we want to stay in. Let's say your children or grandchildren are close by. That's great. But we have to assess this home. And we have to look at it in a sense of, what if our bedrooms aren't on one level? What if we have to climb up and down stairs? Is this something good for you? Do you want to do this? If your accessibility going up and down the stairs is a hindrance to you, you may want to consider making the bedroom on the main floor. Now, if this is your only option, then you're going to have to come up with accommodations and make sure you have sturdy handrails. They even have chairs that you can attach, go up and down the stairs with a machine. So that can be a possibility if you cannot have a bedroom on the main level and you do have stairs. Other factor is your flooring. You don't want to transition from tile to carpet to wood. You want to have the same flooring throughout the entire floor plan. 1, there's no tripping hazards. 2, if you ever do end up in a wheelchair, it'll be easy for you to move around. And so you're going to have to consider some of the costs that you might have to endure if you decide to live at home, modify your home. So you have to consider that. The other consideration is making sure your kitchen is safe. And, more than likely, you're going to be using your microwave more than your oven. And you want to make sure that your microwave is a little more accessible than it used to be. So you have to consider microwave as well. You also want to consider your lighting. You have to make sure that you have really good lighting so there's nothing blocking your sight and you won't trip over items. So you might want to increase some of your bulbs, and because of the new energy efficient bulbs, you might be able to get a 100-watt bulb, but really you're only using 11 watts of power. So make sure you're switching all your bulbs, that they're energy efficient and you're getting the most light. And you may even have to add more light, so make that a part of your plan. The other major concern is your bathroom. You're going to want to make sure you have grab bars in the tub area and in the bathroom toilet area. These are very essential. You would want to consider a shower chair or a bench and not have a tub. You want to have a shower, and you want to have a handheld shower head. It's very important so you have access to water and you can sit and take care of yourself and shower. Important feature in a bathroom. So these are other costs you may endure if you don't have those at this moment. So you have to start adding up your costs. One of the other things I recommend is having some sort of either landline, alert, some app maybe on your phone, or watch that you're wearing that you can get a hold of someone in case you do fall. And falling is very dangerous and can be very hazardous to you. So you have to have something in place before this ever becomes a problem. And I'm not sure if you have like an Alexa app or something that you can program that will call your family or 911 in case of emergency, but come up with a game plan in case that you do fall. Another option, and I would say another recommendation, is make sure you have an emergency list. On your list, you should put all your doctor's names, all the medicines you might take, if you have any type of allergies to any medicine, all your contact information for your emergencies, and have this readily available on your fridge or by each phone in the home in case someone does have to come in, and use it to notify someone in your family what's going on in your health. So make sure you come up with that. Obviously, you need to have an estate plan. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I am a realtor in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm an interior designer, and I'm a specialist. So this is why it's so important for me to share with you these ideas, and you have to implement them. It's up to you to implement them. But have an elder attorney. If you do live in the Metro Jacksonville area, I have one I highly recommend, and I can give you their information. But you need to have a plan for your estate. For your health, for your finances, you have to have a plan, and you have to have a spot where you place it where everybody knows, and perhaps you have to have copies of all these things for a couple different people in your family. Now, if you're the adult child of an aging parent, you're going to want to start getting this conversation going with your parents, because if they're not aging, they're not even alive. We have two choices. We're either aging or we're dead. So let's assume we're all going to live long, healthy lives, but we're going to start needing help. And that's okay. No matter what age we're at, we know eventually we're going to need help. And if you're the senior, you have to be willing to accept the help. It's very imperative. If you're not able to start, doing all your normal household chores, accept some help. If you're not able to cut the grass, accept some help. If you're not able to cook meals, accept the help. If you're not able to do your laundry, accept the help. There's all kinds of organizations out there that you just have to do a little research and get some help from the community. If you don't have your children or grandchildren or family, friends that are close by to help you, there are programs out there that you're not alone. And it's very, very important for you to stick with the community. So find a senior center. Find a group of people that are like-minded, that have the same hobbies and interests as you do. And make sure you're in a community where you're socializing, where you're getting out of the house, where you're doing activities together. The more activities you do and the more human contact you have, the better it will be for you. So I'll suggest that you find a senior center in your area and look at their calendar of events and make a decision to try a few things out and meet some new people. Or if you're making the decision that you're ready to move because you don't want to do all the modifications to the property you're living in, then make sure you make a choice to live in a property that's going to suit you as you age. There's lot of different 55 and over independent communities. There are some that are a little more critical for helping you. Then there's some that are like straight up healthcare. So you have a lot of options. And while you're fit mentally and physically and emotionally, you need to start making your plans. And if you don't have long-term health care, then you're going to have to start figuring out how are you going to pay for this. So you have to come up with several ideas of how you're going to pay. Now, if you're going to age in place, you may consider what they call a reverse mortgage. You have to do some more research on that. Maybe you thought it was a bad thing, but if it's your money and your equity and you need it to live, it might be an option for you. So these are just a few ideas that I wanted to share with you. And I think it's absolutely a blessing to age and to age gracefully. And if you do have family, if you do have friends that are aging and you want to be part of a community with them, better to start the planning early. And if you're the senior who's starting to age, it's better to start your plan earlier. Start your plan before retirement. Figure out where you want to live. Figure out who's going to help you when you age in place. Have a game plan together and make sure you call all the proper professionals to assist you in this. This is a big deal. This is the last quarter of your life, and you want to do it your way. You want to do it the way you design it. So if you don't design it, what do you think is going to happen? You have to be the designer, and you have to speak it out loud and let people know what you want. Communicate it with your family. It can be a beautiful, beautiful discussion. And while you're still fit, it's a great idea to start the conversation then. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Maybe you can use it as an opener with someone you love. Maybe you've started noticing things that, things aren't quite right. Mom and dad aren't taking care of themselves the way they should be. Their home's a little disarrayed and more than normal. Their clothes aren't clean. They're forgetful. These are small signals that you're actually past due to be having this conversation. So maybe this video will help you introduce the subject, share it with your loved one, and say, come on, let's get a game plan together. Come on, let's figure out what our resources are in our community. And the sooner you get this done, where you're not under pressure and you're not under stress and there's not an emotional burden with it, the better the plan will be. Now, all plans are not going to go according to plan, but having something in place is better than having nothing in place. So I really, really stress how important it is to start and execute the plan. And if you need any other assistance in your real estate work, please reach out to me, because that is where I specialize. I'm a certified home stager, interior designer, real estate agent, and I love helping seniors. So I hope this video was helpful to you. And I have toured quite a few 55 and over communities throughout Jacksonville and into Palm Coast. And if you haven't seen those videos, check one out over here, and maybe that's the community for you. And maybe you're like, you know what? I don't even want to live in my house anymore. I want to go live in a community, and I need to sell. Well, make sure you reach out to me today. I have a link down here, and I'll have a calendar link, and we can set up a consultation and go over all your wants, your needs, and your game plan. It may not be for 2 years. It may be in 2 months. It doesn't matter. It's never too late or too early to reach out to me today and let me be your go-to agent here in the Metro Jacksonville area. Thanks for watching, friends, and until next time, remember, life's too short not to love where you're living, and I am living the dream here in Metro Jacksonville, Florida.